Hello YouTube, and welcome to week 28 of Pregnant with Twins. Okay, so week 28 is where a lot of the medical stuff came in, because I got registered and with the hospital, and I had my bloods taken. For the test, they said I missed a Down syndrome test. That can only be done between 18 and 20 weeks, and obviously 28 weeks, so they can't test for that. They were trying to still book me in for a scan, so I kind of just went to A&E and said, look, I've got pain, can somebody see me? And went that way. Said I wasn't going to do that, but I wanted to know what was going on. When I was in Trinidad, it was all cute. Yo, I'm pregnant with twins. Yeah, it was all like nice. It was a bit uncomfortable, it was a bit painful. But since I've been back, maybe because I'm just doing a lot more in a day, but it's really hard. At this point, it becomes an uphill climb. The belly obviously got higher, it got deeper, the twins were getting bigger. They are, sorry, getting bigger. And, you know, it was just hard. It was hard. Just moving around. Before I pick up my son, after a time I used to get pain under my belly. The minute I pick him up, I get pain. I literally can't clean my legs, can't cut my toenails. It's not cute anymore. It's not cute anymore. Yeah, so basically I just went in to sort of A&E and said, hey, I need to be seen. And they asked me what was wrong, and I said, well, I'm having a lot of discharge, a lot more discharge than I had when I was first pregnant. I mean, it has no particular smell or anything, it's just creamy white, but there's a lot of it. So they said okay, and I told them about the vacuum pain that I was having, and they did the observations, they checked my blood pressure, they measured the belly, they measured, they did all sorts of checks, and then they did an emergency scan, but not like a scan that the sonographer does. They do this scan to make sure that the placenta's okay and the cervix is still high, tight and closed, and just to listen to the baby's heartbeats, because when they do it with a doppler, they can't be sure that the babies haven't moved and it's the same baby that they're listening to. So I had another scan, and shock and horror, I can't lie on my back. Well, I haven't been lying on my back anyway, I sleep on either side. But when they put me on my back, obviously it's a scan, so they've got you there for about 20 minutes while they poke and prod. I passed out on the bed. I thought, oh, if I'm lying down I can't pass out. I passed out on the bed, and the doctor had to stop 3 times to, you know, get me going again to do it. So I now don't like having scans done. It wasn't a proper scan, so I had a quick little look at the screen while the doctor was gone, because they're not telling you what the sonographers tell you. You can't ask questions freely. While the doctor popped out of the room, I had a quick look at the screen, and the screen said that they are 26 centimeters tall, long, so just short of a long ruler. And when I put the long ruler up against my belly, they are really tall. And it said that I was a week further than I thought. When I tried to ask the doctor said, when you have the scan, the sonographer will confirm and make sure, but this is just a rough guesstimate. So sorry, and I was fighting trying not to get sick, but then my son's top teeth, the canine, started to come through, and you know, they get a little feverish and he got a cold, and I caught it off him, and now I've got the back end of this horrible cough that keeps me up in the night, and I lost my voice as well, but it's coming back. Yeah, so yeah, I was a bit concerned that again now my dates are being moved around, but the doctor didn't want to discuss anything. He wouldn't write me a MAP-B form because he doesn't know how far I am, but he said that from that scan the cervix is fine, there's no signs of going into early labour. And then he said, I'm going to do a speculum. Oh my God. Oh, speculum is so horrible. It's so horrible. It is the equivalent of a glass penis with a hole in the top. And the last time I had my last experience with the speculum was I'd been stitched up from giving birth to my son, and the doctor took a speculum and he shoved it in there and it rubbed up every stitch along the way, and it was so very painful. So obviously when this doctor said we're going to do a speculum to obviously check the discharge, I was like no. He's like, don't tense up, don't panic, because you're going to make it worse than it already is, than the actual experience is. So I got my kit off and he did it, but it wasn't as bad as it was the first time I had been introduced to one. And he checked the discharge and he said it's fine, there's nothing, it's not abnormal discharge, you're probably having a lot more than you think you should because there's 2 babies there, so everything is fine, you are fine, we're happy with the way you're carrying these babies, there's enough room, there's enough fluid, everything's okay. So that was that. I left that hospital feeling so sore, thinking like, oh, you were cursing these people for not seeing you sooner, now they've seen you, you don't want to be seen again. Yeah, so about 4 days later I'd gone back, and in that 4 days I started to feel a bit down, feel like I'm not eating enough, because I lost weight when I had my son, and I don't want to lose weight again obviously during a pregnancy. I mean, he was born at 6 pounds 3 ounces, so he was okay, but it was me that he was eating. So I started to get down, and I don't know why, because I wasn't even consistently checking my weight. And yeah, in that 4 days I just started to eat everything. I eat healthy, but I started to eat junk. I started to eat donuts and crisps and every fizzy drink apart from Coke that I can get my hands on. And yeah, so I went for the proper scan, and they said no, I am the amount of weeks that I think I am. And they said my twins weigh 2 pounds each. One weighs 2 pounds 3 ounces and the other one weighs 2 pounds 1 ounce, so there's a 2 ounce difference between the two. So I'm happy, because in every scan they've consistently been similar in weight, because you can get one twin that is very heavy and one twin that's not getting enough nutrients, so I'm really happy for that. And they said that they're going to induce me at 37 weeks, and they gave me the 8th of March as my induction date. I was a bit disappointed because I thought I was going to get 3 full pay days before they were here to buy all the equipment and get my husband over here, and now I've only got 2. If I even go to that, just go to 37 weeks. And obviously the weight, if they're under 4 pounds, they go straight into neonatal or need assistance breathing, and they could stay there for up to a year fighting for their life. I don't want them to go in neonatal, because you get robbed of your brand new baby stage. You can't bath them, you can't touch them, you can't do anything. So I have 8 weeks to get them to put on 2 or 3 pounds each. So basically I'd like to get them to about 5 pounds each. So yeah, 8 weeks to put on basically 6 pounds. Wow. And from the time I first got back, they weighed me, and to that scan, which was 9 days, I put on 2 pounds. So I was quite confident that, you know, I can do this weight thing. I felt quite confident that I could put the weight on and hopefully get them to be weighing 5 to 6 pounds by the time they're ready to induce me. So yeah, yeah, so that was week 20 28. I'm so confused. My activeness, I'm very active. I run for the bus. If the bus is coming and I'm not at the bus stop, I will run. Some people have been standing in front of me going, stop running, you're pregnant. And I'm like, well, you go and stop the bus for me, and and I'll get on. So I run for the buses and I walk a lot, and I've been, the ball's been great. I've been on the ball, the gym ball, and yeah, I've been very active. The spots have cleared up, and I know it's the hormones, but I also think it's down to good soap, and I've been using black soap. You can see this one, Cocoa Mango. This is what I use. You only need a little tiny bit because it lavers up a lot. It lavers up a lot. So I've been using that on my skin, on my baby skin, and obviously I haven't had any spots for about 3 or 4 weeks. In London it's cold, but not as cold as I thought it was going to be. My belly button, when I was pregnant the first time, my belly button got to the point where it tried to come out, but it didn't. So it hadn't come out by the time I gave birth to my son. At this point, my belly button is come out. It's come out, so I know that I'm bigger than I was when I gave birth to my son. Anyway, that was 28 weeks. Thank you for watching. Like if you want to like, subscribe if you want to subscribe. Feel free to ask any questions, leave any comments, and coming up with some videos that I've done that you might like. Thank you for watching. Bye. See you at week 29.